Hey everyone, I'm Silverwolf, and I think someone asked me to do this. I can't remember now, and I'm pretty sure it was all three of these guys. I can't remember if I've actually done a video with all three of them. I know I've done the two adults together, and I have done the adults separately with the baby. But here they all are together. So we've got the 2005 Furbies, and I'm going to talk a bit about them for those of people who don't know, just briefly. So the 2005 Furby, as you can see, this one here, and the 2005 Furby baby. Now, Hasbro had obviously done the Furbies in the 90s. They had I don't know if the popularity had run out, but they stopped making them. And then in 2005, they decided to release this Furby, which they wanted it to look more realistic. So they called it an emotronic Furby, based on animatronic, but with emotions. And they gave it all of these realistic features. A lot of people were quite unnerved by them. They're a bit uncanny valley as far as having like toenails and realistic feet was concerned. And the beaks moving and kind of like, so the Furby could smile and look unhappy because the beaks are made of rubber and the electronics inside enable that to do. Similar to like the animatronics at Chuck E. Cheese or whatever like that. Only on a simpler sort of scale. The ears move, and also the fur on the back of its head moves as well. And it's supposed to be an entirely sort of like realistic Furby. They also released a film to go along with it. It was direct to DVD, and as far as I'm aware, that was just it. It was just a direct to DVD film. I can't remember now whether it was given away with the Furbies or just available in limited places, or what. I know it was released in America, but I can't remember if it ever came out in the UK. I found it online years later. The idea of the film was all right. The animation wasn't too good because obviously it was done on a budget. It was just to promote the toys, really. I'd really love them to do another Furby film, but like updated, you know, with the Furby lore and stuff like that, because the Furbies do have stories, as most of us know. So yeah, it would just be nice. And Hasbro has kind of been playing with the idea of doing a Furby movie, but it's never come to fruition and nothing's ever really been done about it. So they released these in 2005, and they have voice recognition. So you can say, "Hey Furby," and say ask the Furby questions, tell me a story. So these ones will tell you the story of where they come from. Well, not the baby. The baby literally doesn't do anything. Now, when the 90s Furbies came out, they had the Furby babies, and they were just like miniatures of the adults, really. They were really fun, and everyone loved them. The baby 2005 Furbies, they literally sleep and eat, well, like a real baby, you know, but they don't do anything else, and it's really hard to get them to communicate with the adult Furbies as well. It was just, the whole thing just wasn't very good. They didn't sell very well, even on the second-hand market. You can buy one fairly cheaply. The 2005 Furbies go for quite a lot, but it's very hard to find one that's actually in good condition. So in 2006, they released the Funky Furby. Now, the Funky Furby dances to music, and it actually sings its own songs. I think it's got like about 3 different songs it sings. They did release 3 Funky Furby colourways that were exclusive to countries. So you had, I think the UK was one of them, and I think this purple and green one here that you see is the UK one. They also had one from Italy, which is a really pretty colour, and somewhere else, it may have been Spain, I can't remember now. I think that they were all European countries. But the difference between the Funky Furby and the regular one was the Funky Furby has a tail. The tail doesn't do anything, it's just a tail. This is still animated and everything, but the tail does nothing. And they did that sort of in an attempt to try to get sales. Unfortunately, when the 2005 Furbies released, Furreal Friends also came out. And Furreal Friends were based on real animals like dogs and cats. So you could have a realistic pet, also animatronic. If you couldn't have your own, they were so popular. Really, they were really, really popular, because it's like having a pet but without the responsibility, and kids would beg their parents for pets, and they'd be able to get them one of these. I never had a Furreal friend. I do actually have the Furreal parrot, macaw, now. I think he's called Squawker's Macaw or something. I have him, but he was literally given to me by my friend like 2 years ago. I never had any of the Furreal friends. I think at that point I'd lost interest in all of it, and also I was going through some stuff in real life that it was social things and everything like that, and I wasn't really interested. The other thing that was kind of a downside of the Furreal Friends, and indeed any animatronic toy, is of course the motors are a bit loud, which takes away from the the realism of it. So the 2005 Furbies did not sell well, and Furby went away then until 2012 when Hasbro decided to bring them back. Now I believe these guys, yeah, so Tiger Electronics had just been bought out by Hasbro, so you can see that both names appear on the label. So yeah, and then it went on to actually Hasbro being the one to release it. I think Tiger still has a small sort of like place in it because occasionally the Tiger name comes up on Furby products, but yeah, most of the time it's just Hasbro, and that's that. So these Furbies, they were a good idea. However, the battery compartments underneath here, this one, you open it up and it's actually got an on-off switch, which the old Furbies didn't have. So this one here is fine. There's a screw and the battery compartment is fine. But the battery is loaded vertically, which became a problem. Most of these toys have batteries that load horizontally. And so the battery compartment on them, as you can see, the plastic here has all gone kind of orangey. They didn't choose very good quality plastic either. With age, a lot of plastic becomes brittle and breaks. And I've had to use a washer here because the bit that's around the screw that holds the screw in all broke away. And a lot of people have found that the battery covers, they just break completely. They've got little bits on here that slide in to hold it in place, and they snap, and the whole thing was just, it was pretty bad. And of course the rubber on the beaks, that also, it's very hard to find a good quality one of these, and they are quite expensive with intact beak rubber. You can see this one here, he has got a tiny little bit just there where the rubber's come away. I don't know if you can see it. I don't want to sort of put too much pressure on it or anything, but you can see just on his lower beak there, it's sort of come away slightly. So to care for these Furbies, mostly try not to touch the beaks, because the residue from your fingers will just break down the rubber faster. You can actually buy replacement rubber. There are some nice people who have actually done molds and make their own rubber, and they sell the latex replacements for these. And there's also some nice people who have done 3D printed battery covers as well, so you can actually fix that too. Another problem with the batteries loading in vertically is that it's very hard, if a battery melts inside it, if it expands or blows up or leaks or whatever, it's hard to clean it because it's all, it's quite down there, and it's just very, very hard to get in to sort of like make any sort of changes or replacements or clean anything at all. So the design of these in some ways was clever. I mean, they tried to be ahead of their time like they were with the original Furby, but it's also poor. There was so many faults and issues, and so these guys are only around for 2 years, which is another reason why they're probably so expensive, because not very many were made in comparison to other Furby models. So, but I mean, they're nice to hold. They feel like holding like a proper little animal, and it moves and its ears move and everything like that. They're more ergonomic shape than the old Furbies, because they've got sort of like the legs here coming out and everything. And the fur's soft, and it was all different, colours, and it's slightly longer, I think, than the old Furbies. And they were nice. The design was, you could see what they were trying to come up with. They creeped a lot of people out, me included. I never thought I'd have 3 of them, but I mean, here I am talking about them. And I hope I haven't bored you. This is just really an informative video for those who don't know about this model and the history of it and stuff like that, because there's a lot of people who have watched my Furby videos and they're like, oh, look at that big one, where does he come from? He looks kind of grumpy, because they do, they're tired of everything right now because they're just old man Furbies. And also I didn't really have any ideas for anything to do this week, so I've done this Furby video, and on Thursday there's going to be another video about a completely utterly random thing that I inherited off my great uncle. And yeah, it's just an idea of something to do, and also someone wanted to see them all together, so we will put them all together and get them started. So the 2005 ones had on off, and they also had a try me mode, as you can see here. Now the 2006 ones, they just had on and off. So as you can see, they didn't have a try me mode, it was just on and off. So I'll switch them both on. Oh, he's decided to just stay asleep because he's old. Come on, wake up. These two can communicate together as well. Unfortunately, it's not good. It's very hard to get them to talk to each other, which is another sort of fault with these guys. And the phone appears to be ringing. Are you going to pick that up? No, apparently not. I've often had the idea of, like, when a telemarketer calls to pick up the phone and put one of these guys on it. But you can see from their movements and everything, you know, that they were trying to make them more realistic, and it worked. You know, there's a lot of good points with these guys. They often get overlooked with all the other Furby models, especially with the Furby booms and those ones, because everyone loved them. These guys are kind of more calm than other Furby models. Let's wake up this one. So, this one here just has an on-off switch. So the baby wants to be fed, you feed it, and yeah, it kind of doesn't really enjoy it. It doesn't really enjoy anything, in all honesty, the baby. As you can see, it doesn't look very happy. It does stand, but then it just kind of like a drunk person almost, just flops over and falls asleep. At least the others are happier. I don't think they released that many colourways of the Furby babies either. And once he's asleep, it's just like, nah, sleep forever. Look at the shock on its face. I mean, it's horrified by life. Another thing with you never feel good. Another thing with these guys is they don't get hungry very often. I mean, it says try not, like I said, try not to touch the beaks too much unless you have to, and that's why they came with feeding spoons. So they came with feeding spoons, and the babies came with bottles. So you could just put that in their mouth as opposed to your finger. Are you asking for your father, or are you trying to speak like they do on Puffin Rock? Ba-ba-boo. Really? You gonna sleep now? One of them's already gone to sleep. Another thing with these guys is it does not take much to annoy them. So if you overfeed them, they get annoyed. If you don't feed them enough, they get annoyed. If you don't, like, give them enough attention, they get annoyed. If you give them too much attention, they get annoyed. At the moment, this one's very happy. I think I called this one Moon Cloud. This one's Fuzzy Nub, of course. And this one here is Snowflake. Well, luckily waking them up's easy enough. No! Okay. See, he asked, shall I go to sleep? And I'm like, no, Moon Cloud, you must not. It's not time to sleep yet. The baby is asleep again. I'll wake her up one more time.
Ooh, Furby, baby.
Yes, well, the Furby baby's asleep. And it's not waking up. Come on, wake up. I'll try turning it off and on again. That'll work. There we go. Now, to get them to talk together, I think you've got to, like, put them together. Oh, goodness me. You've got to put them together, like, with their tummies touching, because they've got sensors in the tummies. But unfortunately, the material is so thick, the sensors don't really work very well. And I've never managed to get them to talk to each other, even looking at the instructions. Talking's a bit hit and miss, really, with these guys.
Me love you.
Oh, that's very nice of you.
know fun.
There are two types of people in this world. Well, nothing's fun to you, is it? Here, let me give you a pat.
You love me.
Yes. Yes.
Feed me.
Okay.
Ooh. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Candy.
Candy who? Candy who?
Candy cow jump over the moon.
And now you've made the baby cry. Well done. Oh dear. Baby's gone to sleep again. It's like looking after children. Yep, very, very young children. I'm not going to wake the baby up again. And this video's gone on for 17 minutes. Yeah, so that's it. The 2005 and 2006 Furbies. They were good, but also to a lot of people they were kind of disappointing. But I mean, there's a lot of people, especially I've noticed that they have a lot of fans in Japan who like dress them up and take beautiful pictures of them, and you know that they're so nice. So they do have potential. I don't think that they should be sort of dismissed as being creepy or anything like that. And this is coming from someone who I used to think they were really creepy.
You love me.
Yes.
Furby. Okay, good. Yay!
Okay, good. I'm glad you love me.
Me love. Not more.
Oh, see, I'm keeping them happy, which is good. But yeah, anyway, like I said, they're a nice bunch of Furbies, and if you can find one at a reasonable price, I think Mercari in America or Japan sells them. As for the UK and other places, I got mine off eBay, all of them. Actually, not all of them, because the middle one, the baby, was given to me as a gift from Furby Forest. And Furby Forest, this is a shout out to you. I don't know how you're doing these days, because I haven't really seen you around. I'm not sure if you're still uploading videos, but hi, I still remember you. So yeah, there you go. That's these guys. So if you want to see more videos of the Furbies, you can click the boxes that come up below. And if you enjoy what I do in that, you can buy me a coffee on Ko-fi. If you want to give me a tip or anything like that, link for that's in the description. So that's all for now. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep being awesome. This is Silver signing off.